The Curse of the Carnival of the Damned. Lucas and his friends found an old faded poster in a dusty bookstore one foggy autumn evening. It captivated them instantly. The Carnival of the Damned, a night of terror and wonder. They stared at it, wondering why they'd never heard of this carnival before. "Should we check it out?" Anna asked, both skeptical and curious. The address led them to a forest on the edge of town, rumored to be haunted and abandoned for years. With flashlights and growing chills, they set out. The path led through dense trees, and their lights were swallowed by the thick fog hanging over the forest floor. Finally, they came upon a decaying archway with faded letters. Carnival of the Damned. Lucas stepped through first, and the others followed hesitantly. No sooner had they crossed the threshold when a chill wind blew through them, crawling over their skin and raising goosebumps. They found themselves staring at decrepit rides, rusty carousels, and shredded carnival booths. Lucas was about to speak when lights flickered on suddenly, casting an eerie glow. A slow, haunting melody drifted from unseen speakers, as if the darkness itself had come alive. In awe, they froze as figures emerged from the shadows. Dressed in old-fashioned clothes, their faces pale and expressionless, the figures gathered around them. A circus master with a twisted mustache stepped forward, smiling as he bowed deeply. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Carnival of the Damned. Prepare to be enchanted." His voice was a whisper that echoed in their minds. Before they could refuse, they were pulled deeper into the crowd. Separated, each friend wandered, terrified, around the eerie carnival. Anna found herself in front of a hall of mirrors, the doors opening on their own. She entered cautiously and realized that the reflections weren't just mirroring her moves, but acting independently. The mirrors were dusty, filled with ghostly shadows surrounding her on all sides. Panicked, she fled, only to find herself by a carousel that began to spin on its own. On the horses sat figures, pale and lifelike, as though cursed to live forever on the ride. Meanwhile, Lucas followed a soft melody to a small decayed tent. Inside, puppets posed in realistic human expressions lined the room. An old puppeteer stepped forward, raised his arms, and started moving the puppets, who seemed to come to life. Their eyes seemed to follow Lucas as their heads turned toward him in unison. Then, to his horror, he recognized the faces. The puppets wore the faces of his friends, family members, and even his own. Jan, another friend, entered a haunted roller coaster. He climbed into one of the carts, but as the ride started, the ground vanished beneath him. The coaster raced through endless darkness, and every time the cart surged upward, grinning faces glared at him from the shadows, shadowy hands reaching out for him. The ride felt endless, and in his panic he found he couldn't escape. Lena, feeling hopelessly alone, was drawn to an old man who led her to a small tent where an oracle promised to tell her future. She tried to flee, but the man gripped her hand, whispering dark prophecies. The air grew thick, and she felt trapped as voices filled the room, each word dragging her deeper into a terrifying vision. As midnight drew closer, the carnival seemed more alive than ever. Lucas and his friends tried to escape, but every time they ran toward the exit, the gate seemed to disappear. The ride's lights flickered brighter, ghostly figures multiplied, and the carnival music grew louder and more ominous. When the clock struck 12, the lights suddenly went out. Only the moon illuminated the clearing, and the carnival was deathly silent. Lucas and his friends were never seen again. But on foggy autumn nights, a faint carnival melody can be heard drifting from the forest. Some claim they've seen their tormented faces in the mirrors and on the puppets, trapped forever as part of the damned, cursed to haunt the Carnival of the Damned eternally. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to this channel, leave a like, and drop a comment.